Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Miscellaneous, and I'm back at it again with another video. Timestamps are down in the description box below if you want to get directly into the video. Otherwise, I need you to follow me with this deranged mindset. What the fuck is she thinking? What the fuck was going on in her mind? Thinking that this was even acceptable to even propose? You silly bitch. Okay, let me calm down. Because you hear incidents like this all the time. Right. You hear incidents like this all the time, and for some reason, it never computes with me. It never computes. You know, Devontae, shut up. Read it. Shut up and read it. WWE Hall of Famer Tammy "Sunny" Sytch was charged with numerous crimes from her March 2022 car accident, including DUI, manslaughter, and connection. And the death of 75-year-old Julian L. Lassiter. Florida State Attorney R.J. Lariza declared Sytch to be a danger to society. Essentially a menace. I'm a menace to society. Sytch ended up being sentenced to 17 years in prison with 8 years of probation. Mike Johnson, a PWI insider, obtained a letter that Sytch submitted to Judge Karen A. Foxman in an attempt to have her current sentence shortened. With the letter, Sytch is asking to have the sentence changed so that instead of serving the sentencing for each charge independently, she could get served the prison sentences concurrently. She writes in this letter, "Honorable Judge Foxman, during my incarceration at Lowell Correctional Institution," she spelled institution wrong, or the article did, I'm not sure, "I have been attempting to make the most of my time by reflecting upon my crime while also striving to be a positive influence on other inmates. To that end, I have recently graduated from the Culinary Arts program with a certificate in Culinary Arts, which also includes ServSafe certification. Most recently, I have become a teacher's aide in one of the GED classrooms. Helping others to realize their academic potential and earn their GED is something I have found to be very fulfilling. Additionally, I have been chosen by Dr. Quell, I guess, easy for me to pronounce, the Director of Education of the prisoner, to speak with the youthful offender inmates as a, and I quote, voice of reason. He has asked me to do a series of lectures and discussions with these young ladies about how prison has helped me gain a new life perspective and about the importance of not reoffending once they leave prison. Beyond my education and vocational achievements, I am also regularly attending Alcoholics Anonymous meetings and am being seen regularly for mental health counseling. These goddamn ads, I swear to God. I have also begun making plans for my life after release from prison. My former business attorney, Stephen P. knew? He represented her? Wait, what? Jim Cornette, Stephen P. knew? Really? Didn't? Okay, you know what? Continuing on. Has offered me a job in his office as a paralegal and has also offered me free housing while I'm getting on my feet. I have been inspired by the idea of working with the youthful offenders while I am here, and I would like to continue to mentor youth once I am free. Therefore, I plan to visit high schools to talk about the dangers and consequences of drinking and driving in hopes of helping the students to make a better choices that they have. I am extremely remorseful as my actions led to a loss of life and grief for my victims' families and friends. I am dedicated to changing my life for the better and to being a positive light in my community in which I live. I desire to serve others in any way possible, and in particular will strive to help young people avoid alcohol and disruptive decision making. I pray this honorable court will grant me grace and mercy in their consideration of this request to modify my sentence by running the incarcerative portions of my sentence on count 1 and 2 concurrent on issue whatever relief this court deems appropriate. Wherefore defendant prays this honorable court will grant this motion for modification of sentence and grant whatever relief this court deems appropriate. Signed, Tamara Sytch. Sonny, Sonny, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You want to hear? See, this is the funny part. When she writes, I am extremely remorseful. No, you're not. No, you're not. Bro, how long has it been? Wait, how long? When did she get sentenced? Like, what, 2 years ago? Maybe, if that? Maybe it could have been a year ago, but it's something along, it wasn't that long ago. No, man, you gotta sit there, silly Billy bitch. You haven't done reflecting. You don't fucking, this isn't some type of glitch or, something that you could do in order to circumvent your mistakes in life. You want to hear how you could be remorseful? By sitting there and rotting away, knowing that your consequences ended somebody's life while you're still breathing. You breathing alone is a reward within itself. A reward, may I add, at least in my opinion, is given wrongfully. You had every opportunity in this world for the better part of nearly 30 years to get your shit together, and each step of the way, not only did you go out of your way to make more mistakes, but laugh at those who try to condemn you. And now that all your mistakes are starting to catch up with you and slap you dead in your fucking face, you think you could just turn around and say, oh, golly gee williker, guys, see what I've been doing? I've been such a better person after being incarcerated for a little under 2 years. Please have mercy on me. I know I killed the guy because I was a piece of shit loser who decided to drink and drive when I wasn't even supposed to have my license, because I didn't have my license, but please have mercy on me. Have mercy on this poor little soul. I got a job and I have feet and I could do things with these jobs and feet. Look, you know what you could do, Sonny? You know what you could do? Lay in that bed. Make sure your sheets are super comfy, tucked underneath your fat folds, and lie in it. You murdered somebody after years of being told to not do the things that you can do or do the things that you have been doing because it could inevitably lead to this, and you did it. If that judge even remotely modifies, I don't give a shit if she knocks off a day. That would be a slap in the face and a complete injustice to the Lassiter family. The fact that you even got 25 years, I think you should have got life. You should have got life, not because of just the murder in particular, but because of all of the previous offenses that came up to the murder in itself. No, you guys want to hear female privilege? If she gets any reduction because of what she's been doing to show that she's been a positive person, that'd be female privilege directly in front of your face. But no, Sonny can go fuck herself. And with that being said, let's get directly into the video, shall we? We shall. Go fuck yourself, Sonny. Burn in hell. Alright, so we just got finished doing the match with Kenny Omega and Brian Cage. I mean, hey, what can you say, man? It wasn't anything insulting, right? I think that's the best you can get out of AEW nowadays. It wasn't anything insulting. Now, was it anything that I necessarily cared for? No, none of the stuff that happened in the match, and none of the people outside of the match when the post-match stuff started to happen did I necessarily care for. I don't care for any of the competitors. I don't care for the Don Callis family. But objectively, as far as what they did in the beginning of the show, it wasn't anything too bad. You had Kenny come out, nice fanfare, not really a pop, but I mean, what can you do when your audience, your what would you say, your live audience is that low, right? It's only so much you can do. But I guess for them, if that's what they care for, Omega, he got a reaction. That's good. I mean, that's more than you could say about 80% of the fucking roster. They did their match. It was nothing that was too crazy, just stereotypical wrestling nowadays. I mean, maybe 20 years ago, this would have been considered a pretty damn good match, but when you do literally everything under the sun and the audience isn't really into it as much as they would typically be into the other matches. I mean, they liked Omega, obviously. It's just that I didn't really get it. This is like one of the most average fucking matches. I think that's the best way to describe it. It was just a very, very average match. It was not a great match, but it was not a bad match, right? But Kenny ended up picking up the win. He hit the one-winged angle. The one-winged angel. I'm irritated. He hit the one-winged angel on Brian Cage to pick up the victory. I didn't understand this. This is kind of goofy a little bit. I mean, it's not bad. I just thought it was goofy how you had Lance Archer get in the ring and he's like checking on Brian Cage, and then he just half-heartedly gets up. And mind you, he was in the ring the entire time checking on Brian Cage, and he's like literally looking at Kenny Omega selling the entire time. This went on for like at least a good 30 seconds. before standing up, he's like, okay, you're good. Walks over to Kenny and just half-heartedly starts stumping on him. I mean, like, dude, you could have attacked him when you first got into the ring. That looked really goofy. But, Kenny Omega started to get up and fight back before Brian Cage overwhelmed him. And then Kyle Fletcher came out and overwhelmed him even more before Will Ospreay tried to make a save. He did, battle back and help out Omega for a while before Konosuke came out. And it looked like they put the highlight more on Konosuke and Kyle Fletcher. So it looks like sooner rather than later, we're going to probably get a tag team match with Kyle and Konosuke to take on Ospreay and Omega, which should be a pretty relatively good match, and not to mention, for once in their damn lives, they actually have a story that matches the match in itself, and you don't have to go crazy with the gimmicks, right? If this is all just to set up a Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay 3, and then maybe do Konosuke versus Kenny for the international championship, it is what it is. Like I said, do I necessarily care? No. But it's not anything offensive. And unfortunately, in the day of professional wrestling nowadays, that's all you can really ask for. If you're not going to get anything good, at least don't go out of your way to offend me. And they didn't do the second part, so I call that a success in some way, shape, or form. But we did end up getting a bit of a promo package with MVP. I guess he's promoting the match that he's going to do sooner rather than later. Speaking of which, I see Chris Jericho doing this little New York Minute skit that I don't give a fuck about. Nor am I going to review. That means I will have to rewind, and Jericho is not worth my time to rewind on. But yeah, MVP, he started to tout his match with Shelton Benjamin. I don't know if it's going to be a standard tag team match or a 6-man tag match against probably a tag team. I'm not sure, but he's going to get in the ring and he's going to wrestle. But coming up next, we got Ricochet. Is he going to cut a promo or is he going to wrestle? He's coming out on television right now. He has a suit on. Okay, Andrew Tate, take it away and let me know how you feel about your snookhead ass. All right, continuing on with the show. My biggest problem with this show so far, we've now been damn near an hour in. Almost, it's 8:52 right now. This show so far, it's not anything they're not doing anything stupid or embarrassing yet. It's just that this is a very boring show. Very blasé, nothing burst of importance is really occurring at the moment. You had Sasha Banks. She popped up doing vignettes. I guess they're showing off her character death, I guess, which is good, I guess. There's nothing wrong with that. They're showing her on this, I don't know, this windy ripoff show called Sherry. I've never heard of it before. I don't know, maybe one of those tea shows, those tea spilling shows. They're showing her training, picking out jewelry. I guess it reflects her character, so there's nothing wrong with that at the end of the day. It's just that it's boring. I don't know. It's just really, really boring. Actually, I forgot to talk about this in the beginning of the show also. They got this new little layout with Dynamite now. I've never seen that before. I like it. I actually like it. Maybe it has been done before. I just don't remember it being done. I remember the announcement tables being closer to the rings. That's how WWE used to be back in the days, or WCW even. They used to have their tables right up against the ring, the ringside area back in the days, right? But I've never seen the announcement table on the hard cam side. That's unique. I do like that. I want to see where they go with that. Maybe some other wrestling company did it and that I'm unaware of, but I like it. I'll keep my eye on that. But we did get one cool thing, I think, that happened, but outside of that, that's pretty much it so far. You had, and this is not even really that cool, just the best thing that's happened so far. Ricochet came out, he did the whole gimmick where he's like, you guys are gonna shut up and let me talk or I'm gonna leave the arena. Oh, stop booing me. Oh, I'm Dominic Mysterio. Everybody, Don Callis, me, we're ripping off Dominic Mysterio by being quiet and letting the audience boo the shit out of us. But eventually he did all that just to kind of set up this corny ass line where he was like, oh, you guys don't want to let me talk? That's fine. A picture speaks 1,000 words. And he points at the Titantron and you see him holding up a bloody Swerve Strickland face. And he's so fucking cheesy, why are you goofball, you bald-headed ass goofball? Why are you walking around with scissors in your shirt pocket for, a stupid ass little boy? Why are you doing that for, bro? Stop it. Get some help. Is that supposed to be some type of shade on the whole? Wait, what? As I'm talking about this right now, they just showed a graphic. Wednesday, February 5th, Atlanta, Georgia, they're doing Swerve Strickland and Ricochet. They better not do that fucking match. You know what? Why am I surprised? As I'm about to give praise to this shit, they show a match graphic that they're gonna actually do this match. And what February 5th? That's like in 2 more weeks? 3 more weeks? Damn near probably. Why? Help me out here. Why have them touch? Have we not gone through this already with Will Ospreay and MJF? Stop putting your money matches on television and then doing the match in order to promote the next portion of the feud. What are you doing? Okay, let me pause it for a second. Let me let Jeff Jarrett say his goofy ass words, and then I'll get back, because I might want to add this onto the segment also. I'll finish off what I'm going to say in a minute. Well, that was fucking awesome. Holy shit, that was great. I like that a lot. I liked everything about that MJF and Jeff Jarrett promo. That was fucking awesome. That was great. Props, kudos, all that shit. And it started off pretty wacky a little bit. Let me get this over with real quick, because I don't want to talk anymore about this. I want to talk more about Jeff Jarrett and MJF. Like I said, Ricochet, he ended up running into the crowd because what's his name first came out. What's buddy's name again? I'm so hyped up on that MJF and Jeff Jarrett fucking promo. I don't know, man. Fucking Jeffrey from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He brings his whole fucking crackhead ass out. He hits Ricochet in the back with a chair. By the way, good work for a fucking babyface, by the way. Nevertheless, though, when he did that, he started to sell. And then Swerve Strickland came out. He had a chain around his neck. He tried to whip Ricochet with it before he rolled out of the ring, which tells me they're most likely going to do another Texas Death Match. Why do a Texas Death Match with Hangman Adam Page and Christopher Daniels for no fucking reason on a taped show that's going to most likely have spoilers, when you could probably save it for Ricochet and Swerve Strickland after you inevitably do this stupid ass one-on-one match that's gonna really you're gonna blow up the fucking but look, it was still a decent segment. I thought the reasoning was fucking retarded, but still a decent segment nonetheless. Ricochet ended up running into the crowd, and he ran out of the back door into the snow while Swerve Strickland came back into the arena, and it wasn't bad. I mean, for a Ricochet segment, I guess it wasn't too terrible, but that happened. Christian, by the way, is getting his ass beat by Hook. I might talk about this match, or I might not, because I do want to focus on this real quick. Afterwards, we did get the match with the Hurt Business in a 6-man tag match against Private Party. Nothing really crazy. They pretty much took over the entire match, and the Hurt Business, they went back and forth. Hurt Business won. Nothing really spectacular about it. Now we get to this promo right here with MJF and Jeff Jarrett. And like I said, they started off pretty slow. Jarrett came out, he got a few words out. I can only see his mouth moving. I was actually I was in the process of recording this while he was coming out. And then MJF comes out afterwards, right? He starts talking to Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett is about to say something before MJF tells him to shut up while he's talking. Some heel work, But like I said, this portion was kind of kind of by the books. He starts talking about Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett and Karen and all that stuff in the past. And then, fucking Jeff Jarrett got all immature, and I guess, he tried to go back and forth with MJF, and he started making up bullshit about MJF's mom being a ring rat. I don't know where the fuck that came from. But okay, sure, Mr. Poo Poo Head. You're a diaper head. You're a poo poo head. You're a shishi head. You're a train head. You're a choo choo head. You're a poo-poo. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? I thought at first when this promo started off, I was gonna come here and just blast it because it was so fucking juvenile for Jeff Jarrett to respond like that. Like, dude just buried you based off of your past. No matter how fucking cliche and lame it is. I mean, he kind of did just bury you at least appropriately, and then you just start going on a tangent about his mom giving up pussy, like talking about how she's a Canadian whore. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? What the fuck? But eventually, this is when we got really good. MJF, he retorted back with some shit that I did not know they were gonna go towards. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure they maybe cleared this with Martha Hart. I'm not sure. I mean, if they cleared this up with Martha Hart, those allegations of Martha, but then again, I guess it has nothing to do with the professional wrestling business. It has more to do with WWE as an entity being able to, evoke the name of Owen Hart in any capacity is not professional wrestling. I think I heard people talking about that also in my controversial video, the 50 most controversial moments in professional wrestling history, also in the playlist down in the homepage. You guys should go look for that and watch that directly after this video. Good, grow some hair on your balls. But I think people were talking about that, saying things like, oh, I don't like the fact that Martha was using Owen, or all this stuff, but she's hypocritically not going to let WWE use it, and she claims that professional wrestling killed her husband. Nah, it's more so WWE than it has anything to do with professional wrestling. You know what I mean? If that was her words verbatim, I think she just kind of spoke out of turn because she was just probably talking and didn't realize what she was saying. But nevertheless, though, if that's not the case, yeah, this is massively fucking hypocritical to let Owen name be brought up in a promo to further a feud, and he didn't say anything like disturbing, you know what I mean? Nothing bad per se, nothing that was like crazy. I thought when he brought up Owen's name and he started talking about Jeff Jarrett, the way he was talking, all my life, I thought he was about to say some really, really, really wild shit about Owen, which that would have been, I wonder if they had the balls to go there. I mean, that probably would have, because that would have probably fucking enraged Martha, rightfully so, by the way. But man, imagine if they actually went there and they said some crazy wild shit about Owen. But he didn't. He essentially said that Jeff Jarrett is a leash on this business. He was nothing more than what would you call it, a product of nepotism. A guy who's pretty much only been in the position that he's been in throughout his career because he put himself there, or his father put himself there. And inevitably, he ended up talking about Owen, and he was like, you're just riding the coattails of your friend, your deceased friend. You were in the Owen Hart tournament to milk his name. That's what you are, a succubus, a leech on the business. And like I said, it wasn't anything terrible about Owen. I'm just saying, just evoking his name in general. You know what I mean? If her premise, as far as how she looks at the name of Owen being used, has anything to do with professional wrestling in general, which I don't believe it to be the case, but if that is, obviously, massively fucking hypocritical. I think it has more to do with WWE though, right? But even then, like I said, I know people are going to probably maybe take this out of context a little bit. Like, don't be like the AEW fanboys, okay, where they take something and they blow it completely out of proportion in order to make it an argument. Don't do that. Don't go on social media and be like, oh, they're using Owen's name to get heat. It's pretty sure Owen would have fucking loved everything about this, okay? They didn't say anything wrong. It wasn't anything crazy. I thought they were, but it wasn't. Just a way to, because I've never really heard anyone use Owen to get heat before. I mean, Owen's been gone for almost 26 years now, right? And it's like, yeah, I've never seen anyone actually use his name to get heat. And like I said, people are gonna probably take this and be like, oh, you probably shouldn't be using Owen's name. Dude, they did it with fucking Eddie also. Come on, get over yourself. It's not that big of a deal. All right, I don't like AEW as much as the next person, but you just can't make up negative bullshit and be enraged or something that, if it was for any other wrestler, you wouldn't be getting upset about. Okay, come on, let's bring it in, give the criticism where the criticism is warranted, but don't just make up bullshit just to have an argument for the sake of making up an argument, right? But like I said, I fucking love this promo. Jeff Jarrett, obviously, before he can get another word out about Owen, MJF that is, Jarrett decked him and beat the dog shit out of him before security guards broke it up. And I like this portion too. Karen Jarrett came out and she was trying to break up Jeff because he was losing his mind, beating the fuck out of MJF because, I mean, again, you're evoking the name of one of his best friends who was no longer around. And, while he was still trying to go after MJF ended up getting behind Karen Jarrett and using her kind of like a hostage to stop the attack from Jeff. And then Jeff jumped out of the ring or MJF jumped out of the ring and hauled ass, which just made MJF look absolutely fucking evil. And this all just stemmed off the fact, I like this too. As much as Jeff Jarrett was kind of a clown for that fucking lame ass "your mom's a whore" comment, that was just so stupid. One thing that he did say that I did like a lot, there was a portion during the promo where this is one of the last things he said before MJF just went off on him. He did say that all the things that you're saying right now, it's all based off the fact that you're just a lonely man. You're just very sad and you're very empty and you're very lonely. And that's what made MJF snap. So if they want to take that and make it a character arc, like make it that MJF is absolute, because we all know about MJF and his insecurity also. I mean, based off of the character, maybe even based off of real life also. I know he's pretty insecure in real life, you know, because of his religion or ethnicity, however you look at, you know, Judaism, or like, you know, his upbringing in general because of this stuff, which is really real apparently. And then obviously, you know, his stature and all that other kind of stuff probably plays into that factor also. And you know, him constantly wanting to skibbity himself in Minecraft because he never thought of himself as being anything other than just, in his words, and I quote, not me, a little Jew boy, that's what he said. You know, like, you can build up into that character arc if you really want to go. I never thought that I'd say to myself in 2025 that I'm actually interested in something involving Jeff Jarrett. But, like I said, if this is the path they want to go down towards, please don't. You know they're going to do it. That's the only bad thing about this, as evident by Ricochet and Swerve Strickland. They actually have some pretty decent stories that if they wanted to go down the path of telling legitimately, they can go down that path. You know what I mean? They can take all this that you're seeing currently right now with Swerve Strickland and Ricochet, and it's interesting. You can take all these paths that you wanted to do with MJF and Jeff Jarrett, and it's interesting. But don't use the lameness of constantly having matches to promote a fucking storyline. Just build off of the storyline as is. Okay, that's what you should be doing. And all of these matches should be blowing off at Revolution. We have like, what, barely, like maybe about a month and a half before we actually get there? Come on, get there first. There's no need to waste any of this on television outside of the actual storyline, you know, fundamentals in itself. But like I said, great promo. Fucking loved everything about this. The Swerve Strickland and Ricochet stuff was decent. I thought it was kind of goofy, but relatively decent. Although I am really pissed off that they're having that match in 3 more weeks. That's fucking dumb. And everything else on the show before that was pretty much fucking lame. But we still have 40 minutes left to the end of the show. Well, I don't know, given the overrun, we'll see. And like I said, we have Christian versus Hook right now, so let's get back to that. We still have the main event with Jon Moxley and Will Hobbs. Hopefully that tells a story also. That was pretty meh. I don't, but then again, it's the women. I honestly didn't give 2 shits about this match at all. I will say this, outside of maybe Julia Hart, this match was all about ass. That's all this match was about. It was all about ass. I didn't care about any of their stupid moves. I didn't care anything about the stupid faces that they were making during the match. I don't care anything about their stupid stories. All I cared about was the ass. And aside from Julia Hart, oh boy, swimming in so much ass. Oh my god, bro, this whole match. Oh man, can you imagine them? You guys know 2 Live Crew? They're from down here also. I think they're pretty known worldwide, right? Me so horny, we love you a long time. I can imagine like the 2 Live Crew album cover with all the girls standing next to each other and all their asses are out. I want to see every woman in this match not named Julia Hart having an album cover like that, just ass to ass. God damn. They did have this chick in this match named Megan Bain, who, I mean, maybe she's relevant to some of you guys. I don't know who she is. She's fine as fuck though, so that's all I really care about. That's all that really matters at the end of the day, and that's all you should care about in the end of the day. But Toni Storm, she's still putting up this amnesia gimmick. She ended up getting to the ring and you know, hitting snap with mares to everyone, and you have Mariah May on commentary. And Toni did ended up, you know, winning the match. Again, this match didn't do anything for me. It was so stupid. It was so lame. It was garbage. She ended up getting a small package on, I think, somebody. I don't, maybe Julia Hart, I think. She did hit Harley Cameron in the face with some... Oh, I forgot about Harley Cameron. She had no ass either. Okay, outside of Harley Cameron and Julia Hart, this whole match is all about ass. But, Toni ended up getting a small package. And, goddamn, when I say that they had that match graphic with Toni and Mariah May up so goddamn fast. They barely let Toni Storm's entrance start singing the lyrics to her song before they pulled up the graphic in itself to show off the, you know, match for Australia at Grand Slam. I'm like, damn, bro, maybe, you know, wait for it to breathe a little bit before you actually show the match graphic. I mean, you're supposed to make it known that you don't know what's going to happen. Why do you even have a match graphic anyways? Like, so dumb. made them look immature-ish as fuck. Because there's only two ways to describe this. You put a match graphic up that fast, obviously you're telling everybody that wrestling is fake when you do that. Or, I mean, damn, you have no faith at all into any of your wrestlers, and you just automatically assume that Tony Storm was gonna win. Was that it? You have no faith in any of your wrestlers, and you just knew for a fact Tony was gonna win, and you had a graphic prepared. Oh, Devontae, they probably had different graphics ready for all the women, and then they just put it up. That's the kayfabe explanation. Suck my nuts. Actually, suck the hair off my nuts. Actually, because right now I had to go do a Brazilian butt wax because I want to get my my ass ready before, so like, you know, I can have your mom lick it. I'm gonna grow it back out, and you can suck the pubes off of my balls. Okay, I'm gonna regrow it, and you can suck each fucking hair follicle off my ball sack. Oh man, but we ended up getting afterwards. Actually, this was before. This was actually good. I like this too. Not the match in itself. I didn't care for Hook versus Christian. All I cared about is the stuff that happened afterwards. Christian tried to go for the Unprettier or the kill switch, or I don't know. Depends how fucking old you are. He was going for it before Hook hooked in the hook. Right? Fuck. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a fire by its own. Oh, look at Jon Moxley. He's so badass. Look at that. He's coming through the snow looking like fucking like Eminem. Look at him. Calls that Skittles. Look at Skittles coming down with his damn little 8 Mile fucking get up on fucking Skittles. Taste the rainbow, biatch. Nah, but really quick before we get this main event, because Moxley is coming out via his entrance. We did end up having the fucking return, right? So you had Christian, he get locked into the coquina clutch, right? Or the Taz mission, or whatever the fuck Hook's calling his move. The Red Rum, that's right. And then out comes the rest of the patriarchy. They start jumping Hook. It looks like they're gonna set him up for a Pillmanizer on his arm. Taz is getting upset, which, by the way, he just returned tonight. He's getting up, and it looks like he's gonna go into the ring before Samoa Joe makes his return, right? By the way, the wrestler is out there, Shibata. The most generic CAW of all time. He's out there. And Samoa Joe comes out, he cleans house, and he makes eye contact with Christian. This is a nice pivot. If for nothing else, obviously, if you guys aren't familiar with TNA lore or TNA history circa 2008 or whatever, or 2007, or maybe even 2006, Samoa Joe and Christian, they have a long history, dating like 20 years ago. Damn near. So I am curious as to whether or not they're gonna touch on that. That's a nice pivot. Christian and Samoa Joe. I remember liking their matches when I was like fucking 14 or 13 years old. Fucking 32 right now. Damn, I mean, like, they had some killer matches when I was like in, I don't know, maybe middle school, maybe in high school when I was like in the 9th grade. So it'd be interesting to see like how that's gonna play out. I think that's a nice pivot because Hook fucking sucks and he can't carry a program with Christian. I'm sorry. Christian tried his best, but Hook sucks. Samoa Joe and Christian, shall it be? I want to see that. I'm curious as to how that's gonna play out. But with that being said, we have the main event: Will Hobbs, Jon Moxley. You got the Dick Riders out there surrounding the ring. Let's see how this is gonna play out, and let's get on with the conclusion now, shall we? Wow, did this feel so goddamn rushed. This was so fucking pointless. What a pointless fucking main event. You guys mean to tell me all the convoluted bullshit you've been doing for these past couple of weeks to build up to this spot, to build up to this moment, was all for this? This right here. This right here. A nonsensical match that was boring as absolute shit. Jon Moxley bleeding hard way in the dumbest fucking way possible to get heat on Will Hobbs for what? For what? I got a question. With all the fuckery that they did in this match, where do they go from here with Will Hobbs? This is what I mean when I say, what was the point of him actually having this match? What was the point of this match occurring? What was the point? Why do all of this for it to turn into nothing? You're not giving the rub to Will Hobbs. You're just putting him in there as a plot device, which, if that's the case, go for it. But do it in an interesting way. More of this stupid match promoting match bullshit. This needs to stop. Enough with the match promoting match bullshit. They're gonna do it in a couple of weeks with Ricochet and fucking, what's buddy's name again? Fucking Oh shit, it's Swerve Strickland. Holy shit, we drew a blank there for a moment. And they're probably going to do the same thing with Jeff Jarrett and MJF. Why go through these motions? It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. What took you 3 weeks to do, or 2 weeks, however long it took since the fucking Casino Battle Royal, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, to get to this moment right here? All the bullshit that you did with Collision, Jon Moxley and Will Hobbs are the last two people in the ring, and they're gonna duke it out in order to promote this match for Wednesday in this main event that we no longer even fucking care about. No longer do we actually want to advertise throughout the night or give any reasons or actual fucking story to go throughout the night. None of this, bruh. They're so ass backwards. I don't get it. I don't get it. But let me stop lying. I do get it. It's AEW. They don't know what the fuck they're doing half the fucking time. For every step they take forward, like MJF and Jeff Jarrett, like Swerve Strickland and Ricochet, they take like 80 million steps backwards. And obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, even though it is obviously, and of course is what I meant to say, it's at the expense of their world championship. So they have this match. For some fucking reason, Jon Moxley decided to get blood hard way. How did he get blood hard way? You think how does Jon Moxley get blood hard way? You guys think? Now I'm gonna put 3 multiple choice questions up there, and you tell me which one sounds a lot more logical to you, because that typically tends to be the answer, right? Did he, I don't know, blade on his forehead? That's choice A. B, did he, I don't know, maybe fuck up his mouth or something? Maybe scrape his back? Something superficial? No. See, you're using too much logic and too much common sense. The answer is C. Will Hobbs bit his earring out of his ear. No, you heard me right. Will Hobbs went full Mike Tyson. He took the earring out of Jon Moxley's ear via his mouth. He ripped his earring out of his ear with his teeth, which caused Moxley to bleed hard way. Why, for such an inconsequential match, would you do that? Why would you do that in general? But why would you do that for something inconsequential as this? Because, again, 2 things. A, was this a title change for this to actually mean something? No. It was pretty fucking predictable how this was gonna go. And B, if this was your plan to put Will Hobbs over, get him over, is there something sustained after this? Is he becoming a new star? Is something gonna come out of? No, nothing's gonna come out of this. You gave Will Hobbs all of this, and you're not gonna follow up on any of this whatsoever, like you've done for all your talents in the past, like you've done for your former world champions of the past. You don't follow up on shit, so why make such a fucking sacrifice? And mind you, a sacrifice that wasn't even needed. Moxley did not have to bleed at all, never mind in the most asinine way possible. He didn't have to bleed at all for something so fucking useless. Speaking of useless, out comes Willer Useless also. You know, that he comes out, he hits Will Hobbs with a knee or whatever, gets back in the ring. Oh, and get this, they try to give him more heat. Something more substantial to sink his teeth into, no pun intended. They have, what's her name, Marina Chokovich, whatever the fucking name is, I don't know, fucking Vladimir Putin female or whatever. She hit fucking Will Hobbs with the briefcase. He kicks out. Why? Who cares about this match? To be doing that? Beats the shit out of me. Next follow-up, Jon Moxley hits his finisher, the paradigm shift. Will Hobbs kicks out of it. Why? Beats the shit out of me. No one knows why. It's AEW. They just do shit for the sake of doing shit. And then what happens afterwards? Of course, Jon Moxley chokes him out with a bulldog choke. So he kicks out of the briefcase. He kicks out of the fucking finisher. And then he taps out. He goes to sleep. The big guy. The big man. No. Don't let the big guy, the guy who's probably twice the size muscle-wise as Jon Moxley, don't let him go down to like the briefcase shot, which saves him the embarrassment of taking a finisher. No. Instead, we choke out the big guy who's probably twice the size muscle mass-wise than Jon Moxley. All the sense in the fucking world. At least Jon Moxley is actually bigger than the majority of people in AEW, but let it be known, they would do this with a smaller guy also. They'll let, if they actually were on good terms, they will let Rey Fenix choke out Will Hobbs. They will let Rey Fenix choke out the fucking Great Khali if they have the. They will let Hornswoggle choke out the Great Khali. Hornswoggle and Great Khali in their Survivor Series match, like back in, 07 or something, that would have been a legitimate competition fucking with AEW. That's how fucking asinine they are. Oh, but it gets better though, because after the match, of course, mind you, this is like maybe a couple of seconds before they go off air, Edge comes out. I can't even remember whether or not he brought out his stupid ass friends, the ones that ride everybody's dick who happens to be around, whether it's Brett, whether it's Punk, whether it's Edge. If you ever meet and you happen to be a big star, FTR, they're gonna double slobber knocker the shit out of your dick hole, okay, no matter what the fuck it means in regards to their own morals or principles. I don't even know anymore whether or not they're even God-fearing. I mean, they support trans kids, so what the fuck do I know, right? Or maybe they don't, they just did it because CM Punk was around, because like I said, biggest meat in the world, they're gonna fucking slobber all over it, man. Goddamn. They're so embarrassing when they do that shit also, too. Like, fucking no shame whatsoever. They come out, they do literally nothing because Will Hobbs was about to get his ass beat down some more by the Dick Riders, and then it was so lame, and they rushed off the air almost as fast as those guys came out. This shit was all over the place. It was a lame match. It was a lame finish. Made no sense whatsoever. It was predictable as fuck. No consequences that felt like it was even remotely close to making you considering whether or not Will Hobbs had even a fucking baby dick of a chance of winning the match. This was just all fucking pointless, all fucking useless, all fucking stupid. As nothing more than a plot device. A plot device just to do the inevitable Edge and Jon Moxley match. I can't even say if that's going to even happen in fucking March. They might do a match first before actually doing the match at the pay-per-view in itself. Just all stupid. All stupid. And I was willing to actually say that this show was somewhat of a mixed bag, but more positive than negative, just like last week. And then they did this main event, and now this match is more of a mixed bag on the negative side than it is the positive side. Props all go to MJF and Jeff Jarrett. Slight props goes to a little bit towards the fucking match with Ricochet and Swerve, or the segment with Ricochet and Swerve before they announced the match with Ricochet and Swerve. Slight props to the amount of ass that was in that women's match. I like that. That's always going to be a nice scene. I kind of want to see Christian and Samoa Joe, or for nothing else, nostalgia. Everything else fucking sucked on the show. The first hour of the show was completely useless, and the main event was completely useless. This show was worse than last week, which is actually a shame because it looks like they were kind of going in the direction that I wanted to see. But for nothing else, it does seem like they're putting more effort into telling more stories than it is the actual wrestling in itself, or at least more than usual. So credit where credit is due, being somewhat charitable to the show, I guess. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below as to how you felt about the show tonight. Is there anything that you would have liked to see a little bit different, like, almost like 90% of the show outside of Jarrett and MJF, and even that more so the closing moments of that promo? Or do you like the show because, all 5 of your senses have been completely fucking neutered, and therefore you don't know what good or bad happens to be, and you just see words on the screen? Well, no, you have no senses. You're just Helen Keller, bro. You're fucking Helen Keller, bro. You're rape bait. You're rape bait Keller. Alright, with that being said, let me get the fuck up out of here. I rambled on long enough. As always, my name is Devontae, aka Miscellaneous Mark, and I'll be catching you guys later. A deuces and a pea ice.